Welcome back to GTA 4. This is the 6th video, and everything except for a brief interlude later on in the video. These are all 10 of the cars that we jack for Brucie, and we're starting on that now. This video has, because it was right in the middle of all this, I left it in, the 4th date with Michelle. If you want to see just that and skip over all of the carjacks, a couple of which have some interesting notes in them, you can jump to the 21-minute mark. That is the 4th date with Michelle, with the first, can I come up for coffee? These cars, you get them in a random order. You don't get the same order every single time. So, car 1 may or may not be the Intruder. You may have the Sabre GT. You may have one of the motorcycles. The scenario is the same, except for a very small handful of random factors that can affect the mission. Most of them, at least the initial setup, is scripted, and you get them in a random order.
Hey, craphead! Get in the car, my friend. All right, let's go.
Roman is real lucky to have you working for him. Your customer service is impeccable.
You want to know about my customer service? You ask one of my female passengers. They'll tell you I service them good.
Great. I'm sure that must be good for you.
It is good for me. Real good. I love that shit almost as much as the bitches do. And I tell you something. The women are actually paying for their rides, not freeloading like a certain ugly Eastern European immigrant scumbag I know. If you didn't have your cousin, you wouldn't have anything. How come you too lazy to start a business like Roman did? I might not work either if I was getting all the money and free rides I wanted from my cousin.
I look after Roman. I help him out.
Sure you do. You help him get into trouble. I know your type, homeboy. Don't think I'm not streetwise, Holmes, because I seen shit you couldn't imagine. For real, my friend. For real.
Okay, then. For real.
This is the point where normal customers pay. Go away, head dick.
The Intruder here is pretty straightforward. The guy's pulled over talking to a prostitute. He'll remain talking to the prostitute until you kick him out of his car. There are no consequences for stealing the car. You have to screw up pretty bad to not be able to just grab this one and get it to the lockup. The big problem being that the lockup is way the heck back down in Boabo, where that's where Brucie's car dealership is.
The Intruder is tucked up safely in the lockup, man.
Nice!
Thanks, Brucie. Let me know if there's something else you need.
Roman's cousin, it's good to see you again.
Yeah, good to Niko, by the way.
come back soon, Niko.
Now, this one can be a problem. You'll see the motorcycle pull out right in front of you. And normally you're supposed to, just be either getting out of a taxi or maybe you're pulling up and saying, oh, I'm going to have to head up into that alley and get it. So I'm just going to get out of my car right back here and then I'm going to go get it. When the easiest thing to do is once you round that corner, just head straight into the alley in your car at full speed, knock the guy off the bike, go get on the bike, go fix it if you want to right here. It doesn't make a big difference whether you get them fixed first or not, or at least in my version and in my experience it hasn't. Other people claim it does.
I put the PCJ 600 in the lockup now. It's all good.
Shit, Niko! Your car skills and my body, people are gonna be petrified of us!
Thanks, I guess. Tell me if you want help with something else.
This is the first one where I think they'll shoot at you. But again, the easiest thing to do is because they're a lot more interested in, stopping you. Now, someone did get in the car and try to take off. As long as you're prepared for it, you can just keep stopping them with your car. Just keep blocking them. They're thankfully not in a sports car. They're just in a Chrysler, essentially. And, they're more inclined to fight you than actually get away in the car. So just go, and once you've done a little bit of damage to the car, you just get ready to go out and fight, and they'll fight, and then you can duck out and get in the car.
I trucked that PMP 600 down to the lockup, man.
Spot the genetically superior one?
Thanks, Brucie. Let me know if there's something else you need. Yo!
Niko, you are back to Lagan?
That's right. Thank you.
Now, it's a good idea to go ahead and take these guys out shooting from the start before any of them can jump on the bike. Otherwise, chasing down the stupid Sanchez is a pain in the neck because the game can ride it a lot better than you can. I almost guarantee it. Now, you know, I'd used a handgun with cops around, so that's a bit of a problem for me, but nothing significant.
The Sanchez is now in the lockup, man. It's a fun little bike.
I'd like to see you try and take one of my cars, NB. Not a fucking chance, baby.
Okay. Tell me if you want another thing.
Now, this one's fun. You just run across the park, guys being frisked by the cops, and of course you run up, get in the car, and can take off. Except, of course, there's two cops right there, and you immediately get a 2-star wanted level, not a 1-star, because cops are right here. It's very rare that you can duck into the pay and spray and lose them here. You have to get away from them, which means we have to take a longer drive than we otherwise would normally have to.
I got my hands on that Sabre GT. It's in the lockup now.
Nice!
Thanks, I guess. Tell me if you want help with something else.
My favorite customer. He's back.
My favorite internet cafe worker is still here. Good to see you.
Okay, now this one's fun. It's not necessarily hard, but I tried to be smart, and I'm not sure that me being smart about it, I mean, it was certainly easy, but I ended up having to sit and wait. You're going to see. Because normally, the Patriot waits for you way up on the highway up there, kind of halfway on the on-ramps, which means that to get to it, you've got to take a long way around. You come up behind it, and then the Patriot can, because it can smash through vehicles a lot easier than you can, it can just flat out run away from you. And so I said, okay, I know where it is. I know what script it's on. I'm going to do kind of like I did with the previous mission, where I got on the train tracks and come from the wrong direction to do it. I decided, now if you can see way up there on there, you see something kind of bouncing around like a pinball. That's the Patriot trying to work its runaway script down this way because it's scripted to run away from me as soon as it sees me, and yet I wasn't where the game wanted me to be. So I blocked it, and once I've hit the right point in the script, the guy who's in it just gets out and goes to walk off. I thought he was going to be violent, but he's not. Since I stopped him, he literally just gets out and has no connection to the vehicle anymore whatsoever. So I can just get in the Patriot and go now. But in real time, I had to sit there and wait for several minutes while it tried to work through the script, because my car was down here. It caused the game engine to spawn traffic in front of the Patriot instead of being able to run by its script, which was supposed to be throwing up traffic behind the Patriot between it and me. Now, here's another little thing while we're at it. I remembered, and I feel stupid for forgetting, that there's a neat little thing in the early part of the game that you can come and get right here. Free body armor is sitting right here in an area that you drive by all the time when you're over here on the East Island.
The Patriot got liberated from its temporary owners. It's in the lockup now, man.
Shit, Niko! Your car skills and my body, people are gonna be petrified of us!
Okay. Tell me if you want another thing.
Now, this is one that I lucked out on because you need your own vehicle on this one. You can't take a cab or a Roman's cab ride to get this one. You have to have your own vehicle so you can block him and stop him from taking off. Otherwise, he'll take off in the car while you're getting out of a taxi cab, and then you're in for a car chase. If you do it this way, then the script gets shut down and the guy doesn't know what to do because you blocked him. And once you've got him hemmed in, see, he was still trying to figure out how he's supposed to get out of that and obey his script. Meanwhile, I just shoved him out and I've got the car now.
All right, man. I got hold of the cavalcade.
Spot the alpha male!
Yeah, Brucie. If you want another thing, tell me.
Niko, it's me, Michelle. You remember me? The idiot you haven't called for ages? Anyway, I miss you. You free? Want to hang out or something?
Yes, I'd enjoy that. I'll be there in an hour.
Great, Niko. See you soon.
Okay, this is our fourth date with Michelle, and we could have done GTA 4's version of the hot coffee mod, which isn't a mod, it's actually built into the game, on the last date most likely, because I've done all the different things that Michelle really likes, which is she likes a
Hey, let's get going.
lower to middle class car. She likes lower to middle class, working man's clothes. Don't dress up in suits or anything like that. Don't
You're
come
wearing
pick her
my
up in a
favorite
sports
outfit.
car. Pick her up
How's
in
Mallory?
a
We
taxi
haven't spoken in a
cab
while.
or a
Good.
Buick
I
or,
did.
Good.
whatever.
She's a great girl. I really like her.
Me too. Nice girl.
Yeah, she's done well. She comes from a very poor background.
No, I come from a poor background. You people don't know what poor is.
Hey, I'm sorry. By our standards, she comes from a rough part of South Bohan, full of crooks and killers. I imagine she knows some very dangerous people. And she's so normal.
Yes, really normal.
I really like her. And I think I like you.
Thank you.
My pleasure. You're kind of cute.
Anyway, I normally wait until we get the I think you're kind of cute conversation anyway. Plus, if I go through the fourth one, that makes sure that I get a couple of the things out of the way. It's not really a big deal. It just kind of works out. It makes more sense to me. Plus, I love being able to get into finally doing the Perestroika, which is the name of this club, Perestroika Club. I love coming here. We need to do all of the shows. There's a bunch of them. We're going to see 2 of the acts and 1 each of their shows to start with.
We have 2 great acts coming up. First, the incredible Kleinman. Welcome. I am constantly asked, Kleinman, when did you discover you were magic? Have you ever used your powers for good? Like making cancer patients or nuclear warheads disappear? One man even asked me, can you make my masculinity disappear? But I am here to entertain you, not your bi-curious fantasies. I will now make my assistant float. I will defeat gravity. I will be the master of Isaac Newton. Now, arise. 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 Yes, there. Higher, higher, lower, higher, lower. Ah, yes, I can make this filthy woman fall under my dominion. Oh, arise, yes. Eat shit. Oh, oh, Laurel, Laurel. Oh, you're a quadriplegic.
Don't worry, everybody. She's probably only paraplegic. Now let's hear it for Miss Bluesy St. John.
Welcome to Mama's little show. Yeah, play it out, play it. Al's a fine piano player. Pre-recorded because his union got a little mouthy and greedy, so we sing to his CD now. But I still feel like he's here in spirit. I have a little song I want to share with you. It's about something that's happened to us all. No, I'm not talking about getting sandwiched by 2 Lebanese train porters in the caboose. No, I'm talking about losing your baby. You know, they get picked up by a stranger on the way to go to school, and then you grab a bottle of gin down from the dusty cupboard where you put it, and you wake up in the sterile belly of a spaceship, and a man comes over and looks like your father, and you realize that day your dad disappeared. He didn't leave your mom for the fat bitch at the gas station. He was abducted. And your captors put you down in a farm field late at night somewhere in Iowa. And they painted patterns in the corn. And the crickets are singing. And the cows baying in the distance. And your backside hurts something fierce from the probing. Woo! And And the Holy Ghost is there too. Man, the Lord has a ghost. And there's a girl on a swing set, and you go push her off the swing. And you know what? We're all that little girl sometimes. Sometimes life pushes you off a swing, or makes you a little girl, even when you're a little boy. Well, that's all I've got time for tonight. I love you all. Thank you so much. Good night.
Miss Bluesy St. John!
That was really odd. And that place was full of crooks. I've never been there before, but I think some of the guys in there might have been gangsters.
Huh, I really don't know about that sort of thing, Michelle.
Suspect is proceeding.
I'm always so
Great, I can kiss that yoga class goodbye.
Can I come up for a nice hot coffee?
Sure. I like you. But let's be careful. Make sure no one gets burned.
Great.
You're special. Oh, that's great. Speak up a little. You're great, Niko Bellic. You're great.
This place ain't so bad.
Niko, Roman's cousin. You've made my day.
Thanks. Good to see you too.
Okay, now this is one of the more dangerous cars. Now, thankfully, I'm approaching it from the back side, not the way you're supposed to. You're supposed to approach it from the entrance to that alley that we're facing down at the far end, where all three of these guys have cover, and they all have automatic weapons that they're going to pull out about right now. And thankfully, my trunk lid was up, so I didn't get nailed by anything.
Shit!
So, you know, pro tip, approach that one from behind. Don't start the fight while you're outside of the car, which I almost did.
I put that Feltzer in the lockup, man.
Look at that, baby!
Yeah, Brucie. If you want another thing, tell me.
this is a bit of a headache. And of course, that was also very odd behavior by the taxi cab. Now, this is something that happens because of the script. You're not supposed to have this backup of traffic, but you are supposed to have the three guys standing around the Banshee. The problem is one of them frequently will get stuck in the middle of the lane of traffic, and because he is scripted to not move, the script of the cars are at an impasse with the script of him not moving. He's supposed to be, if he was a normal NPC pedestrian, he would be scripted to get out of the way sooner or later, because that's what they do if there's cars. So, okay, one thing you can do is you can whack the cars, attack them, and now I can't use a gun because there's 2 police cars here, and by this point probably more behind me. So I can try to do things to make these cars move, which is what I'm trying to do right now. Except, of course, they're not going forward and ramming the cars in front of them, which will trigger a panic, which will override some scripts. They're backing up and very politely ignoring the line in front of them. So I'm going to move forward and see what happens. And what I haven't noticed, since I moved forward trying to attack that Patriot, is that the 3 guys surrounding the Banshee have finally moved over to me, and what they're waiting on is for me to make a hostile action, which of course will immediately trigger a fight with 3 guys, and of course I've got police standing right there, so I'm going to be wanted. Notice that if I pull them more than about 3 car lengths away, they turn around and walk back to the Banshee until the second you see that I actually swung a bat. That triggers their hostile behavior. One of them went to get in the Banshee and then was hit by another car. Now, I kind of lucked out on that. He could have easily just taken off, and he didn't. I just got lucky. And I was able to, since it's a soft top, I'm able to jump right on the top. Now I better go get the blood off.
Hey, man, I put that Banshee in the lockup.
Hell yeah, Envy! Take that shit! Just like we take the bitches we want in the club!
That's one way of putting it, Brucie. Tell me if you want something else.
Niko, you're back. I was thinking, you don't even know my name. I am Alejandra.
That's good to know, Alejandra.
Now I'm going to let the NRG 900 play out once we get to it. I've got some music already queued up for it. This is another one that it's got a scripted police encounter. You get to the NRG 900. It's parked all alone. Nobody's watching it in front of one of the stations. And I think the Grand Central Station, not Grand Central, but one of the big stations when we get there. But there will be 2 cops that walk right by you as you get there. They do that every single time, and they will slowly walk down the street. And they need to be more than a block away before you can jump on this thing and they won't notice. So I'm literally just killing time until there are no cops in the area, because I had another one show up after those 2. Now everything's gone. Now we can steal the bike with no consequences.
The NRG 900 is in the lockup now, man.
You're a fucking alpha male, man. You take what you need, and I love it.
All right then, man. Tell me if there's something else you want.
And that's it. This is the message from Brucie saying that we've gotten all the cars that he needs. And we have finished this little side mission for 100% completion.
This is Brucie. I'm pushing it to the max, rolling deep, baby. Leave me a message.